GTA 4 was the first game out of the series to feature an in-game web browser. It contains hundreds of websites that I will be showing you in this video, some being normal, and others containing extremely dark content. This video will be treated like an iceberg chart if you're familiar with those. I'll start off by showcasing some seemingly innocent sites, and slowly move towards sites that hold some disturbing media. Just a reminder, this video is for entertainment purposes only, and none of the sites I show are actually real and are just satire. Let's dive into this. First up, on what I like to call the surface web, we have an article published on Liberty Tree Online. Similar to real-life sites like the Washington Post or the New York Times, this site contains an article talking about the lawyer you are ordered to take out in the mission titled Final Interview under the command of Francis McReary. It shows a photo of law enforcement at the crime scene, and the text below briefly discusses what happened. Not much else to see here. Next up is lovemeet.net. LoveMeet in a nutshell is Rockstar's version of Tinder, a dating website that allows you to see people's profile, where you can email either men or women in an attempt to set up a date. Nico even has his own profile set up here. Pretty interesting in my opinion. Each profile has their own set of unique descriptions, listing off their age, where they live, their job or occupation, and more. Some are pretty normal, while others can be really odd. Following this, we have the official Burger Shot website. This site is pretty straightforward, aside from the fact each thread within the site is just a bunch of text insulting their workforce and customers who eat there frequently. I can't really show much of what they say on here, so it's up to you to go browse it yourself and read whatever you'd like. The last site regarding the surface web is Designers. Designers is a basic clothing site with a twist. It's pretty much making fun of pop culture and how many young people blow their money on expensive clothing in an attempt to have a higher social status or to be noticed from others as rich or privileged. But many of the people who do this actually turn out to be broke in reality and do it solely to impress others. Now, onto the dark web. These sites are a step up from the ones I just showed you in terms of disturbing content, so let's get into it. First up on this list is babiesovernight.com. Babies Overnight is a weird site claiming that if you don't want to go through the hassle of having a child, you can just order a baby straight off of their website. It's kind of funny in some ways, but for the most part, it is disturbing in my opinion. Next up on the list is Blog Snobs. This site is pretty much what it says in its domain name. It's a blogging site. It's pretty normal for the most part, but what it makes it disturbing is that Eddie Lowe has a profile on here. If you're unfamiliar with Eddie Lowe, he's an infamous serial, you know what, roaming Liberty City. Nico can meet him in some random situations, and he is simply cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, if you know what I mean. A lot of the things he does is posted by himself onto this site, and most of it I unfortunately have to blur out because it's just unsettling in every way, shape, and form. Yet again, this site is up to you to browse if you want to view all of its content. Just buckle up for a ride if you choose to do so. Following this site, we have moneytomakemoney.com. Money to Make Money is an investment site essentially promoting a pyramid scheme. If you don't know what a pyramid scheme is, it's a fraudulent system of making money based on recruiting an ever-increasing number of quote-unquote investors. The initial promoters recruit investors, who in turn recruit more investors, and so on. The site also includes fake testimonials saying things like, they became a millionaire in less than an hour, and many others that are just simply ridiculous. They state in the site that what they're endorsing isn't a pyramid scheme, but simply reading through a few sentences on this site debunks this claim indefinitely. Next up on the dark web is not one in particular site, but a few combined into one. What I'm talking about is all of the cigarette websites. Reading through these sites is a bit confusing, as a lot of the text is talking about how their products are bad for you, but how you should also buy them at the same time. They give these weird examples like, yes, hundreds of thousands of people passed away last year from smoking. The other 100 million are doing just fine. They are simultaneously promoting and not promoting their line of products. Overall, a bit hard to interpret their motive, but I thought I should mention this site either way. And also, a quick disclaimer, don't smoke as it is very bad for you. All of the medical info they say on these sites are fake and are just jokes. Following this site, we have leftovervacations.com. Leftovervacations.com is a site selling cheap but questionable getaways for you and your family. Their descriptions often are set in obscure locations that, for the most part, would be considered unsafe to go to for a vacation, let alone live at. Some of the vacations include things like going to a Mediterranean and staying near an active war zone. Most of the stays there also offer an additional free hotel, depending on how much of your family comes or how many people you bring. They encourage all throughout the site to book now, or book as soon as possible as well, likely inferring to potential customers reading that it may or may not be a scam. Now, onto the last site of the dark web, we have VIPLuxuryRingtones.com. VIPLuxuryRingtones.com is actually one of the only sites in GTA 4 that scams you out of your money. They sell ringtones on their site for prices upwards of $100, and if you choose to purchase one, it will tell you that your new ringtone will be sent your phone shortly. But after waiting a while in game, I can't seem to find where it is. I go into the settings menu and everything, and still can't find it. So, this site pretty much takes your $100 and runs off with it. One of the more interesting sites in my opinion, as it has a real effect on the player in game. Well, if you're broke at least. Now, onto the darkest stage of this video, the deep web. For this entry, I will be covering one single website as it stands out completely compared to the rest I have just showed you. This site is titled Little Lacy Surprise Pageant. If you type this domain into your search browser, you will instantly obtain a wanted level.
We have a sexual deviant attempting to access explicit images.
Don't stay away too long.
Patty Duke, seen from Firefly Project.
Police will arrive quickly to whichever internet cafe you are located at. This site was created by the Liberty City Police Department as a sting operation to catch people trying to see some images of you-know-what. Within seconds, multiple squad cars and helicopters will chase after you and attempt to arrest you. This was quite a risk at the time for Rockstar to take, as there was much room for criticism adding something like this to their game. They also haven't really taken a serious approach like this to add such a feature throughout their development in Grand Theft Auto games. The developers behind this game working at Rockstar likely included this site into the game to connect in some ways to GTA 4's extremely dark story and broken characters, as the context of both are unsettling in their own unique ways. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you think I missed any sites that you would like to be covered, let me know them in the comments and I will potentially cover them in a future video. Some sites I can't even show because of how disturbing they are. So, if you remember any that fall under that sort of category, please understand that's why they aren't showed in this video. Thanks for watching.